Hi guys, Garage RC here, back with another video. So today's video is a catch up with my micro RS4. It's been a little while since I've had a play with this, but I have been working in the background on it. Before we go any further guys, if you like what we do here, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more RC content. So this is my former BMW 3 Series micro RS4. So it was this old M3, and you can see now the wheelbase is shorter, so I had to replace the belt for a 116T belt and shorten the wheelbase to 140mm. So that's one of the first things I did. And why did I do that? Because I wanted to convert this to a chem block Fiesta, as you can see here. So I've been a bit busy. I've seen this set is no longer available and I never bought it, so you can still buy the shells. So I was super keen to have a chem block to do some rally drifting fun. So the other thing I've done to this car is I have made it brushless. I've installed magnetic mounts, and basically I'm now using the radio from my FlySky MB4 rather than the standard radio that comes with the set. So I'll try and go through all the points in order, but no doubt I'll forget something and I'll drop it in the description if I do. First off, we had to change the wheelbase. So now we've got the 116T belt. Now this car does need some love. I haven't sorted the diffs out. The old diffs are still there. They're still normal ball diffs, but they're a bit, actually not even ball diffs, but they're a bit stiff. So I could do with changing the drivetrain around. I haven't done that yet, but I've got some fixed diffs to install and a one-way diff, which I'll do in another video. But let's crack on with what we've done so far for this car. The magnetic mounts are pretty easy. I just screwed using M2 screws, using magnets from, I think, a company called First for Magnets, that have the hole in the magnets already. Positioned them in the shell and then used a combination of hot glue and black tape there to secure the magnets. Really easy to do with the Lexan shell, and that works pretty well. So I didn't have to put any holes in the shell. Even though this shell does come with 2 holes at the front, I've tried to cover them up. Okay, so that was the first trick. I'll just zoom in on the screws so you can see what I mean by the screws. There we go. You can see I've got flat countersunk M2 screws there. Okay guys, so next thing I did, obviously after I've shortened the wheelbase, you can see this is still a clunky old servo. I think it's a Futaba servo there. I've got this Easy Run Hobby Ring speed controller, 18 amp. Now I'll put a link in the description where you can get this from. You can get them from Banggood. These are really good speed controllers, and the reason I changed the speed controller is so that I can make this thing brushless. The motor I used was one that I had lying around by Ghoul RC. I don't think you can get these anymore, but there's a similar motor that is compatible, which I'll put in the description. I'll put a picture of it up in the corner now, sorry, in the corner, so you can actually see it. And that actually comes with a set with this speed controller and does fit. Now you will need to do some alterations to the Multimotor plate, and I'll try and zoom in and show you this again. So I had to do a bit of grinding on the motor plate there, as you can see. At the moment I've only got 1 screw in there, but I will need to drill out the second hole to put both screws in, but this was just a test run. You can also see I've got quite a large pinion on. That pinion is from Asia Tees, and it's a Mini Z pinion, 15 tooth. The reason I went for this large pinion is because with this brushless motor I couldn't get the motor close enough to the spur gear, so I needed a larger pinion. The standard pinion won't fit on this motor, but this Mini Z1 will. I think the shaft on this is 2mm. But the link in the description, that should work with the motor that comes with the speed controller, the Easy Run speed controller, sorry. So I'll put that up in the description, and I'll put a picture up so you can see what that's about. So that was the motor position sorted. I used a AFRC V3 gyro just with the extra power to give me a bit of controllability, and overall the conversion wasn't that difficult. And this thing is an absolute beast. It flies so much so you need the gyro to give it a bit of controllability. So one of the other things I've done here is I've got these wheels. These wheels are just standard plastic wheels. You can get a set of these from HPI or from your local HPI supplier. So I actually got 3 sets of plastic wheels, and I've sprayed these silver. I actually airbrushed them silver to finish off the look. Now, one of the things I did encounter that was difficult with this car is getting these wheels on and off. Now, they're kind of like variable offset, which is a great idea, but when you're putting these on and off, and this is an older car as well, you have to be careful not to pull off this hub with the screw inside it, which did happen to me. I would advise that once you do get them off, just buff inside the wheel, the bit that slides on, so that it comes on and off more easily. It's a great idea, a great concept, but if it's too stiff, you just can't get the wheels on and off. It might be better if there was a way to screw them on and off and adjust the offset that way. I've got some 1/10 scale DS racing wheels that you use with variable offset, where you actually screw them together in the offset that you want, which I think is a better design. Now, what's left? Well, I'll put some footage of this car running at speed. The power source I'm using for this is a Tanigi 1000 milliamp 20 to 30C discharge 2S LiPo. This is from Hobby King and easily available, and this works pretty perfectly. And I usually have it mounted up here at the back to give the car some tail happy sliding. Overall, it wasn't a difficult conversion as I imagined, but I think this car still needs a lot of work. I've got to sort out the rear suspension. I'm not really happy with the movement I'm getting there. The front suspension isn't bad, but as you can see, there's a lot of dust built up on this car, so I will be giving this car some more love. Otherwise, it's a great runner, a lot of fun to run, and you'll certainly see from the brief footage I've got of it sliding around that it's pretty powerful. What I intend to do is get some more footage in the next video when I run it outdoors. I also invested in some different drift tyres, so these are wide and narrow at the front, unlike my Skyline, which comes with, I think, the same size tyres all round, which are wide all round. So certainly I've upped the game on this car. Now, a lot of people have been asking me if I would recommend this car, and if there's another one that's a similar size that I would recommend, and I will be doing a video in the future. Guys, I said before, I like this car because I've got nostalgic attachment to it. I've had one for nearly, I think, 16, 17 years with this BMW M3. I do think there are better and cheaper versions out there of this scale car that you can run. Certainly there's a WL Toys that I'm looking to review, and I will do a side-by-side comparison. But the bodies are really cool for this car. So, yes, I do like these cars, but, they have their flaws, and they're not the best design. But that doesn't take away from my enjoyment of this car. So I'll just give you a quick run in front of the camera now to show you how this works. So let's turn this on. So I've got my MB4 FlySky. So I'm using the receiver that's the slightly larger size, not the micro size I used with the Mini RC cars. I think this is the in-between size. You can get a bigger size still. Okay, let's select the model. Let's find so I've got about 20 models on here. Somewhere it should say Micro RS4, RS4. Is it this one? I think it's this one, yep. Okay. Let's plug in the battery and turn it on. The electronics could do with a bit of a tidy up. Yeah, that servo is an analog servo. I need to change that for a nice digital one. So let's just pick this up and give it a blast. Listen to that. So we have the power. And you can see I've got an adjustable gyro on this now that I can adjust from channel 3. Definitely going to change the servo on this though before I run this outside. But yeah, we got a lot into this car, so more to come with this one. We're not quite finished with it yet. Now, if you want to change around how this is set up, I've only velcroed these pieces on for now, and I will be tidying up the electronics once I replace this servo, but this car is going to get a complete rebuild with new diffs. I can actually, as you can see, I've got velcro down here as well, so I can mid-mount the battery if I want to. I think it all depends on what kind of course I'm running and what kind of abuse this car is going to get. Let's see if I can get some better footage of this running outside for the next video, and certainly if I can get the suspension mods in. I've got new springs to mount at the front to see if I can soften up or harden up the suspension. Overall, you know, it's a fun little project. I hate the way these servos mount. That's one of the things I really do not like about this car. But let's see if I can go a bit further with this and get some more alloy parts for it and make it a bit more souped up. So next time, guys, hopefully I'll be upgrading the drivetrain itself, the diffs and the suspension. So I hope you liked what I've done here. I've left the links for everything below so you can do this yourself. But yeah, it is a complete beast having this tuned up, and almost makes it difficult to run indoors. I think if you're going to do this kind of setup, I'd have a spare pair of drift tyres that you don't mind wrecking and run it outside. But otherwise, yeah, I'm very happy with my little result here, and I think the definitely Chem Block shell looks pretty epic. And the magnetic mounts do take the headache definitely out of taking the shell on and off, and I do recommend it for nearly all the cars that I run. I'm trying to convert to magnets. So guys, that's all for the HPI Micro RS4 for this time. Next time I'll be doing a video probably on my Y2D. I've got some Mini Z videos coming up soon. I've got a lot of work with the Mini Zs. I'm saving all the MRO3 Evo videos and the GLR GT videos for when I've got my track set up in a big hall that I'm hiring for a race day. I've always mentioned that I could do with more space to fully test the cars than just my garage, so we will have some more Mini Z videos coming through and some good racing footage on the Kyosho track when I have it set up. That's it, guys. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys all next time.